It's a nice night, huh?
It's too beautiful to waste indoors. Oh, I'd almost forgotten how silent the nights can be here. I'd almost forgotten so many things that happened here.
Well, 6 years is a long time to be away.
Well, I had to have an Eastern education or Father wouldn't have been happy. I say, dear boy, haven't you noticed how terribly cultured I've become?
Well, no, actually, I've been too busy noticing how you've grown up. And how you have grown up.
You're still sweet, little Joe. Just as sweet as I remembered you. Oh, look! Look, there's the North Star. I studied astronomy in school, I'll have you know.
Well, I think that's fabulous. You can help us navigate in case we get lost.
Jed, that Laurie of yours is sure a lovely gal. Daughter any father be proud of.
Well, I don't mind telling you, Ben, I was scared to death when she got off that stagecoach yesterday. You know, it suddenly hit me that maybe after all those years in Boston, she might not like it out here anymore. You know, her grandmother never stopped thinking of me as some sort of savage Westerner.
Well, aren't you? Well, anyway, Laurie's back. It's as if she'd never left.
You know, Ben, during those last years when Mildred was so sick, she worried about how Laurie would get along after she was gone.
You did the right thing, sending her off to school like that. I also remember how high a value Mildred placed on education.
Yes, I guess she would be proud of her. Everybody seems to take to Laurie, don't they, Ben?
Yeah, including my little brother Joe, if I can read the signs.
Listen, Hoss, your little brother's not so little anymore. Matter of fact, I wouldn't mind having him in my family.
Well, who knows?
How many you up on anyhow, Cleve?
1,642.
Yeah. Reckon I slipped up.
Oh, I just can't get over this beautiful sky and the fragrance of those pines.
Yeah.
A girl could lose her mind on a night like this. Especially with a handsome young escort like you.
Well, thank you very much, ma'am.
Now that I'm back, little Joe, I hope that we're going to be seeing a lot of each other.
Oh, I hope so, too.
I guess we should be getting back to the house.
I think you're right.
Are you really sure that you want to go back to the house now?
What's the matter?
Leave. Now, that's enough, I told you. Laurie, are you all right, honey?
Please take me home.
Mr. Ferguson,
You shut up!
Oh, wait a minute, Jed. Give the boy a chance to explain.
Explain what? Isn't it clear what he was trying to do to her?
She hasn't come down all morning, Pa? 6 years we've been waiting for her to come home. And now this.
You feeling all right, Laurie?
I'll be all right.
Honey, about last night.
Please.
I've known that boy all his life. I just can't bring myself to believe that he would do such a thing.
I told you what happened. Don't you believe me?
Oh, of course I do, darling. I was just going to say that...
Daddy.
All right. All right, Laurie, we won't talk about it. Why don't you have something to eat?
No, I don't feel like eating. I'm going for a ride.
I'd like to get about 5 minutes alone with that Joe Cartwright.
Now, look, you just leave the Cartwrights to me.
What's going on here, Cleve? What are you doing?
What's it look like we're doing?
There hadn't been a fence between these properties in 20 years.
Yeah, well, there is now. And it's gonna get bigger. You got anything to say, rough boy?
Look, just how are we gonna get out to the herds on the northwest section?
I don't know. How are you gonna get out to the herds on the northwest section?
It cost us a half a day just going around the...
Nobody asked you, saddle tramp.
Hold it, Stark.
All right, let's get back to work. Any time you got the stomach for a little real trouble, you just come around. We'll be here.
Pull, Joe.
Hello, Jed.
Just coming over to see you, Ben.
Well, good. Jed, you know, this talk about fences and all that, why, we've been friends for such a long time.
That friendship is over, Ben. I just wanted you to know that I'm of no mind to see any violence.
Well, of course, nobody wants to see any violence, but...
Whether there is violence is entirely up to you.
Up to me?
You and your family. You respect that fence, there won't be any trouble. Otherwise...
Look, Jed, I don't know what you and I are doing talking about fences. Why, look, about last night...
The fence stays, Ben. Don't cross it.
Hello, Will.
Howdy, Mr. Cartwright. Joe?
How you doing, Will?
What brings you to town?
Well, you know that little triangle of land between the Ponderosa and the Ferguson property?
Strange that you should ask about that.
Strange, why?
Jed Ferguson was in this morning and bought it.
Well, first he builds the fences, and now this. He hasn't got any dang use for that piece of land, but he knows it's going to cost us half a day every time we have to ride out to the northwest section.
Jed Ferguson bought it. Well, no point in fuming about it. All right, son. I'll buy you a drink before we go home. It's been a dusty day. Thanks, Will. Good day.
You there, Mr. Cartwright?
Howdy, Mr. Cartwright. How do, Joe? Hey, haven't seen you folks for quite a spell. How's everything?
Oh, just fine, thank you.
A couple of beers?
Yeah, sounds good.
Please.
Look who's here.
Hello, Cleve.
What's the matter, rough boy? Not talking? Just talk to girls, huh? That's about all you can handle, I guess. I'll take that.
Another beer, please.
Oh, is this supposed to be for Rough Boy here?
If you mean Little Joe, that's who I drew it for.
I beg your pardon. How impolite of me. Here. I'm sorry, Rough Boy. Wasn't that clumsy of me? Oh, I'm gonna enjoy this.
Now, just a minute, fellas. Mr. Cartwright, can't you do something?
Oh, Sam, that ought to take care of the drinks and the damage. Joseph, let's go.
Cleve! Didn't I tell you to stay away from the Cartwrights? To leave things to me? But no, you had to go and pick a fight.
I couldn't help it, Pa. When I saw them come in, and that cocky little Joe acting as if nothing had ever happened.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning, Laurie.
I better get started breaking in that new batch of horses, Pa.
All right, I'll be out in a minute.
Oh, Cleve, it's such a beautiful day. Why don't you come riding with me?
I wish I could, sis, but I've got work to do.
I heard about the fight. It was all on account of me, wasn't it?
No, it had nothing to do with you. Just something personal between me and little Joe.
Those Cartwrights, they think they run everything.
But they're gonna find out fast that they don't.
Well, I'll just bet that little Joe looks a lot worse than you do.
Yeah.
I hope I didn't say anything wrong, Father. Cleve seemed upset.
Oh, he's just a bit touchy now. He'll get over it. How's my little girl today?
Your little girl is just fine, Father.
Oh, it's good to see you laugh again. I'm glad you're not, you know.
Well, I'm not going to allow a silly little incident to upset all our lives.
Well, I don't want my little girl to think about it. Not ever. We'll settle that account in our own way, Cleve and I.
All right, Daddy.
Laurie, I'm sure you know as well as I do that the men around here are a different breed from the men you must have met back east.
Yes, I found that out in a hurry.
You're a very pretty girl. Lots of men are going to be after you, and, well, all I'm trying to say is be careful, dear. Don't, well, you know, don't encourage them.
What kind of a girl do you take me for?
Well, you know what I mean, honey.
Yes. Yes, I know what you mean. And you don't have to worry, Daddy.
You know, your mother, God rest her, was a gentle, sensitive woman. And I know she would have wanted me to.
No. Don't you talk about my mother.
Laurie, I'm just trying to tell you that...
No. No, I don't want to hear you talk about my mother.
Laurie, where are you going?
I'm going for a ride.
No, honey. Honey, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have talked the way I did about it.
I don't want to hear any more about it.
ma'am.
Good morning. I'm Laurie Ferguson.
Yes, ma'am, I know. I've seen you.
Well, I'm sorry I didn't see you.
Yes, ma'am.
What's your name?
Brett, ma'am.
Brett. What a nice name. By the way, my name is not Ma'am. I told you it's Laurie.
Yes, ma'am. I mean Laurie.
That's better, Brett.
Well, I guess you want your horse.
Thank you.
Sure is a fine-looking horse, ma'am.
Do you like fine-looking things, Brett?
Sure.
So do I. They make me feel good. They excite me. What do you do with them, Brett?
I don't know what you mean, ma'am.
Laurie.
I mean Laurie.
I mean, is that all you do? Just look at fine-looking things?
No, I don't just look.
Well, what do you do, Brett? Or don't you do anything? Or are you just afraid? Did you like that, Brett? Did you enjoy kissing me?
Yes, ma'am. I sure...
Now, you just better get off this ranch as fast as you can, Brett. Because if my father or my brother see you after this, they're gonna kill you.
Oh, Mr. Cartwright. Look, Brandon in this hot weather's gonna be bad enough. Why do we have to take the long way around to that northwest section?
I thought I made that perfectly clear, Stark. We're keeping off the Ferguson property.
Well, look, that means we're gonna waste a whole half day just getting out there.
Well, then I guess you'd better get moving, huh?
All loaded, Stark. I sure don't count on that long drive out.
All on account of one skirt these fancy Cartwrights don't know how to handle. Well, what the boss don't know won't hurt him, will it?
Got an idea?
Mm-hmm. Climb on. I know a strip the Fergusons ain't fenced yet. Turn off those trees up there.
Are you sure you know what you're doing, Stark?
Oh, yeah, we won't have any trouble. Ferguson's got no reason to be out this way. Sure like to run into that skirt out here, though. I know how to handle her. Fence line, yeah. Hold your fire!
Joe?
You have to stop this before somebody gets killed.
You got any ideas?
Yeah, you just keep them occupied. All right, hold it. Throw your guns out in front of you. I said throw them out in front of you. Goes for your pistol, too, Cleve. Hey, hold it! Horsey, all right?
Yeah, I'm all right.
My brother Hoss hadn't have stood up, I'd have shot you down right where you stand. Now, both of you, get out of here.
Won't end here, Joe.
That's up to you, Cleve.
Come on.
Let's get moving.
Hey, Stark!
Yeah.
Where do you think you're going with that wagon?
Start to Brandon.
You're on Ferguson property.
We're just taking a little shortcut. This part ain't fenced off anyway.
You turn that wagon around. I catch you on Ferguson land again, you pick up your time and keep moving.
I guess he means it. Turn around.
I thought you said you were all right.
Oh, it's just a crease. It's all right.
Come on, let's get home.
Yeah.
How's that?
Yeah, that's fine. Well, I guess we better just stay off of that property. That's about the only thing we can do.
Well, there's something I can do. I can get Laura to tell the truth.
Joe, you try talking to that girl and somebody's going to get killed, namely you.
He's right, Joe. Best thing to do in a situation like this is wait it out till everybody cools down.
Look, pal, Lori goes riding every morning. If I could just go out there and talk to her, I could get the whole thing cleared up.
Joe, I'm telling you, if you get caught on that property, they'll shoot you down.
I'll speak to Jed again.
Come on, Pa, you spoke to him once. What good did it do? Look, staying clear of the property's not going to help anything because it's not going to clear me. Can't you see that? Laurie, I want to talk to you.
So that's what you were waiting here for?
Yeah, that's right. I think it's about time we got this whole thing settled.
There's nothing to settle. Aren't you going to help me down off this horse?
Well, in order to do that, I'd have to cross this fence your family built.
You're not going to worry about a silly little fence, are you?
Look, Laurie, my brother Hoss was almost killed yesterday because of this fence, and so was your own brother Cleve. And you know the reason why.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, you're gonna have to tell your father the truth.
The truth?
The truth about what happened between you and me at the Ponderosa. Look, your father's a reasonable man. If you just explain to him it was an accident, that your dress was torn by mistake, I'm sure that...
You mean you want me to lie?
Lie?
That's not how it happened, little Joe. Why are you doing this to me?
Look, Laurie, I don't...
Don't touch me! Don't you touch me!
That's all there was to it. And she started hitting me with this thing. When I took it away from her, she rode off.
Pa, if you'd just quit lying, this whole thing could be solved in a jiffy.
I don't know if she's lying.
Oh, Pa, you don't think that I really had...
No, of course not. Laurie may think she's telling the truth.
What's that supposed to mean?
I've known her ever since she was a little girl, since she was born. Laurie was always a sensitive little girl, very much like Mildred, her mother.
Yeah. I guess when her mother fell off that horse and became paralyzed, that didn't help her much, did it?
Well, it was a hard time for everybody, but particularly for Laurie. She became even more withdrawn. And then her grandmother came out from the east to take care of everybody. It wasn't a very happy time for Jed, I can tell you. Well, she blamed Jed for everything, for the accident, for the lingering illness, the paralysis, even blamed him for Mildred's death. And then she forced Jed to let her take Laurie back east with her.
I still don't see how this fits in with the way Laurie's acting now.
Well, I know it may seem far-fetched, but there's a connection somehow. And look, a person is caught between two opposing forces. On the one hand, there's Laurie's father. Now, Laurie loves her father, we know that. On the other hand, there's Laurie's grandmother, and she hates Jed. We know that. And there's no telling what her grandmother could have said to Laurie to change her, because that girl has changed. Something is eating away at her.
It's Jed Ferguson.
Jed?
I want to talk to you, Ben.
All right, come inside.
Outside will do. I'll get right to the point. It's only out of regard for our former friendship that little Joe's still alive. But believe me, Ben, he's pushed his luck beyond the limit.
Jed, the only reason little Joe...
Now, I don't want to argue with you about it. I'm just telling you. Keep him away from my daughter. That's all I got to say. saw your light. Just thought I'd come in and say goodnight.
Is everything all right, Daddy?
Yes. Yes, I just had some business to take care of. Laurie.
Yes?
The picture of your mother by my bed. It's missing.
Missing?
Yes. Do you know anything about it?
No.
Well, we'll look for it in the morning. Good night, dear.
Good night, Daddy.
Good night.
You look about as cool as that grass you're sitting in. And you're breathing real nice and easy, like a frisky young colt. You're that Laurie Ferguson, ain't you?
Who are you?
Well, I ain't gonna tell you. Not just yet, anyway. Now, you've been fooling around with that Joe Cartwright, and you know what a waste of time that is, don't you? Now, what you need, Laurie, is a man. A real man. Like me. I may not be so rich and so fancy, but one thing I know how to handle is a woman.
What makes you think I'd be interested in someone like you?
Don't bother me too much what you think you're interested in. Because I know. I like that. I like me a woman that fights. And now, honey, I'm going to show you how a man teams himself a little wildcat. Well, now I know you and me are going to be good friends. Because we're going to have...
Let's go take a look.
Laurie! Laurie!
Stark, what happened?
That Laurie, Joe, she's crazy. She grabbed my gun and she's meaner than a she-wolf, Joe. Crazy.
Wallace, Let's get him to the dock. I'm gonna go over and try to talk some sense into Mr. Ferguson.
Now, don't go messing around, Joe. This here's work for the sheriff.
You just get him to the dock as quick as you can.
Laurie, honey, please tell me what happened. Laurie, how are you feeling? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? You rest quiet, child. I'll be right back.
Cleve, where are you?
I'm going into town to get the doctor. Honey, you needn't be afraid of me. I'm your father. I'm just gonna go get the doctor. I'll be right back.
Into town to get the doctor, are you?
Laurie, what are you doing out here?
I know what you're up to.
Honey, I'm not up to anything. I'm just going in to get the doctor.
You're not going to leave me sick in bed to die while you go into town to see another woman. I'll see you dead first.
What are you talking about? I'm your father.
I know who you are. And you're not going to leave me sick in bed to die like you left my mother while you go off with another woman.
Laurie, in heaven's name, who are you talking about? What woman?
You know what woman? The one you brought in this house every day while my mother was dying.
Laurie, she was a neighbor, a friend of Mildred's. That's all she was, nothing but a friend.
No, she's not my friend. Not my friend. And I'm not going to stay in bed and die.
Laurie, please, let me get the doctor. You're not well. You're imagining all sorts of strange things.
Don't you move. You take one more step, and I'm going to shoot you.
Laurie, please listen to me.
No. No, I listen to you. I listen to you every night. You and she alone downstairs laughing. Laughing your disgusting laughter. While my mother was upstairs in bed dying. Dying! Because you brought her out here to die. To die among savages. Savages. Savages like you.
No, Laurie, I loved her. I loved your mother.
You loved her. And that other woman, that friend.
That's all she was. A friend. She was a good friend of your mother's as well as mine.
No, you're lying. You're lying. She was your lover. She was your lover.
Is that what she told you, Laurie?
What are you doing here? What do you want?
Is that what she made you believe, your grandmother?
Go away. Go away. Don't come any nearer.
Be careful, little Joe.
Did she teach you all this hatred? To hate your father, to hate all men? To make you feel the bitterness you could never make your mother feel?
I don't want to hear anymore. I don't want to listen to you.
Laurie, give me the gun.
Don't move. Don't touch me. You come any closer and I'll shoot you.
Laurie, what are you afraid of?
He killed her. He killed my mother with his lies. She lay upstairs in that bed dying, thinking of him downstairs with another woman. And it killed her.
Laurie, there was never anyone but your mother, and she knew it. We loved each other. It's true that that woman, and she was a good woman, would come in sometimes to help. She tried to cheer me, to make me laugh, to put up a pot of coffee or cook some supper because Mildred wanted it that way. But I never loved anyone but your mother.
No, you're lying. You're lying.
Did your grandmother ever tell you how your father worked and sacrificed himself to build up this ranch? Just for you and Cleve? Did she ever tell you why your father never remarried again after your mother died? Because there wasn't another woman in this whole world that he could love. Did she ever tell you what everybody in Virginia City knows? That your father just lived for the day you could come back here and be with him.
Little Joe, help me. Please help me.
Laurie, your father loves you so much. Give him a chance to help you. Give him a chance.
Gave it to me to put back in my wall again.
What's the doctor say, Pa?
Well, it'll be a long pull, but eventually he feels that she'll be all right.
I'm sure happy to hear that.
Ben, I just can't find the words to.
Jed, there's no need to. You know that.
I'm mighty proud of your boy.
So am I.
Joe, those fences are coming down in the morning.
We out there to help you take him down.
Well, fences never did make for good neighbors. Never found a fence yet that was a substitute for understanding. Jed, didn't you have some good ruby port wine around here somewhere?
Ben, I know exactly where it is. Come on.
Thank you.
What seems to be the matter, sir? You know dang well what the matter is. I've been chasing you and that highfalutin granddaughter of yours with that warrant and them bills through 3 counties. Now, you're going to pay every penny of them bills you left behind, or you're going to spend the next 50 years in the calaboose.
Sir, Colonel Robert Fairchild is not accustomed to being addressed as a vagrant and a lackey. I find your gross insinuations a little bit more than I can bear. I am a member of Southern aristocracy, sir.
Mister, I don't care if you're Stonewall Jackson. You're going to pay them bills you and your granddaughter ran up, or you're going straight to jail.
Grandfather, I believe I'm going to faint.
Yeah.
Oh, what seems to be the trouble?
Who might you be?
Oh, I happen to be a friend of Colonel Fairchild's and his granddaughter.
Well, let's hope you're a good enough friend to bail them out, because if you ain't, they're going with me to jail.
What's the amount?
$122.68 exactly.
I believe that this will cover it.
Oh?
And, here's a bit more to cover your expenses.
Oh, well. Yeah, I reckon so, mister. Hey, Colonel, you got some mighty good friends.
Yeah, and rich, too.
Well, I thank you a lot, mister, and so long. So long.
I thought I told you to keep out of trouble.
Geller, it's not all Grandpa's fault.
Shut up.
Oh, come on now, Jack, my boy. You can't possibly be inferring that Colonel Robert Fairchild is...
Don't try that corn-pone charm on me, you old fraud. You just shut up and listen. Now, I'm on to something. Something pretty big this time. There's a horse named Clancy that's owned by some hotshot kid on a big spread just the other side of Virginia City. Now, I've been watching him work out. And the horse and the kid are pretty good, but I think we can take them for plenty if we work it right.
Magnificent. Splendid, my boy, splendid.
Yeah, well, there's only one hitch, though, Fairchild. I think maybe you know the kid's father.
What's his name? Who is he?
His name's Cartwright.
Cartwright? Ben Cartwright?
Yes?
Why, of course I know him.
That was sure a good ride, Joe. Real good ride.
Fastest mile I ever saw a horse run, Joe.
Well, if I could just get something to run him against, I think his horse would beat anybody.
Yes, sir. Two fine kids and two beautiful horses.
They surely are.
Hey, I thought you were going to let him out there for a minute.
Not on your life, little Joe. You'll see Jeff Davis run when we race and not before.
Oh. Tires out easy, huh? Is that why he got that pancake on his back instead of a saddle?
That saddle is the latest thing in racing equipment. Standard in all Eastern races now.
Well, maybe, but I still don't see how you ride with your knees up around your chin.
You'll see when we race. That is, if you'll ever get the gumption to race your Clancy against my Jeff Davis.
What do you think, Clarence? Come on.
You know that horse of Little Joe's, Clancy. He's out of the Truxton strain. That's Andy Jackson's champion.
Oh, well, about Andy. But Jeff Davis has bloodlines, too, you know.
Oh, he's a good-looking horse.
You know, Patty Lou is just dying to match him. And maybe Clancy there might be just the horse to find out how good Jeff Davis really is.
Well, we could find out that way, I'll tell you. Yeah, a race between them mightn't be a bad idea. Hey, that's a good horse.
Thank you.
Pretty good.
You got it, Patty Lou? I do believe it's Minjula time. Yes, sir. A horse race is a thing of beauty.
Surely is.
Hey, Patty Lou. Better pull that blanket up over his ears. You don't want that old crowbait to catch cold.
Little Joe, go walk under a snake's belly. Dear me, is it bad, horse?
Nah, it's just a little case of the Wally Global.
Well, turpentine, lemon extract, and honey. Nothing better to cure the...
Wobbly globbles. Hey, how'd the workout go anyhow?
Fine. Little Joe says he'll race his Clancy against my Jeff Davis.
Ain't that just like that little Joe? Womp up a race first thing. He's liable to be surprised this time, though. We ain't had a gal around here that could set a saddle like you.
Well, I do thank you.
As a matter of fact, we ain't had many around here as pretty as you either.
Horse Cartwright, I do believe you're sweet-talking me.
Would you mind if I was?
I'd be disappointed if you didn't.
Sorry, fellas, it looks like another winner.
I keep telling you, poker is not my game. Will you excuse me, gentlemen?
Yeah, sure. One thing I like is a good loser.
You'll never find a better one. Yeller never won a hand or anything else.
Hey, come to think of it, you're right. I'm starting to feel real bad taking his money.
Yeller?
There's enough food in there for a week.
Is everything shaping up, Governor?
Just keep this horse in condition. When the time comes, I'll let you know.
I was just going to give him his morning workout. Give me a leg up, will you, Governor? All right.
Thank you.
How did Clancy do today, son?
He's getting better every day, Colonel. And no horse around it can beat him.
Oh, now, wait a minute. Your Patty Lou has a horse, too, you know. I reckon we'll just have to set a date for that race, Ben, don't you think?
What do you say, Mr. Cartwright?
I'm sure for it, Pop.
Yeah, come on, Paul. The whole town's excited about it.
Wait a minute now. Don't all come at me at once. I didn't say no. Set your date. Have your race.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Cartwright. It is all right with you, isn't it, Grandfather?
Why, of course, my dear. Yeah, what harm can come of good, clean fun? Well, horse, shall we go and have a look at that ailing dog of yours?
Anytime you're ready, Colonel.
Yeah, I promised horse that I'd give him a little assistance. Daughter, will you join us?
I'd love to, Grandfather.
Oh, that Colonel. Race horses, sick dogs. I guess he's an authority on just about everything.
Yes, he's quite a man. He had a lovely wife. Big plantation. Acres of the most beautiful bluegrass.
So what happened?
I don't know. I don't know if anything happened. I don't like to ask him. I just have a feeling he's lost it all.
Where's your granddaughter?
Well, she's tending Jeff Davis.
Didn't I tell you I want both of you here when we have a meeting?
Well, now, we must be circumspect, you know. Those Cartwrights are no fools.
What have you done about the race?
Well, we're working on it. Patty Lou and I are working on it.
Well, what's taking so long?
Well, now, don't you worry, Geller. The race will be soon. Ben Cartwright is arranging the whole thing.
Good. I've got the yokels primed and ready. I've been playing cards with them, dropping a few hundred. They don't believe I could win a two-horse race if I owned both horses.
Hey, and don't you forget your promise. The Cartwrights are not to be hurt.
Well, you just remember your end of it. I don't want any more slip-ups like El Paso.
Oh, now that was an accident.
You were drunk, Fairchild, and your granddaughter was mixed up with some bronc buster.
Well, a child is entitled to be in love.
Don't give me any excuses. I'm telling you, another slip-up like that, it's going to be your last one.
And some people you like, and some people you don't like.
Did you have them all out?
He doesn't train too well.
This horse is going to take a whole lot more work before he's ready for Clancy.
Just you watch him in the race.
Yeah, well, don't you go underestimating Clancy, our little Joe.
I'm not underestimating him. But Jeff Davis here now, he's just born to win, that's all.
Looks like you made a friend there.
We did help her to get well, didn't we, Hoss?
Yeah. Patty Lou, about this race. I sure wouldn't want to see you get hurt.
Hoss, that's the sweetest thing. You know, you and your brother and your pa, you've become very dear to me. You know that?
Well, I tell you, we sort of took a fancy to you and your grandpa, too.
Yes, sir. Salubrious. That's just the very word for this climate.
That's a good word. Yes, sir, it's a fine, healthy place, that's for sure.
Yeah, you've made a fine spot for yourself here, Ben. I'm right proud of you.
Yeah, it's pretty. Colonel, how much do you like it here?
Well, I'll say I like it just about as much as any place I've ever seen.
Well, you know, I don't mean to pry, you know that. Had a thought occur to me last night.
Well, let's hear it, Ben. Let's hear it.
How would you like to settle down here?
Here? On the Ponderosa?
Why not? There's all the room in the world for everybody and then some. Got a fine cabin the other side of Northeast Pasture where you could settle down there and raise your thoroughbred horses and make yourself a good life. A fine life.
Well, Ben, that's it. That's right kind of you to offer us a home and a place to settle down.
Well, I've never forgotten what you did for Hoss's mother and me. When we were on our way out here, she was so sick and had no money, no friends, until you and your wife.
Yes, I remember. But, Ben, I think maybe I ought to talk it over with Patty Lou first. You see, we were considering San Francisco and forgetting all about the horse race. And, Ben, I just don't know how to thank you.
Well, I do know how you can thank me. By accepting the offer. And anyway, you're not going to wiggle out of that horse race. Little Joe would race you from here to San Francisco. Good. Talk to Patty, though.
Yes, I'll do that, Ben. I'll do that.
Queens.
Queen. I don't know why I can't win just one hand.
I'm sorry, fellas. You're lucky, O'Leary.
I've sat here all day with second best hands. All day long.
Gentlemen, how you doing, Joe?
Hey, Joe.
Not too bad. How about you? Hey, y'all going to the race? Wouldn't miss it. You, wouldn't care to lay a little bet, would you?
You gonna daylight that Tennessee horse, or you want to lay some odds, or what?
Did you say a Tennessee horse?
Yeah, Tennessee running horse.
Has that horse got a name?
Mm-hmm. Name's Jeff Davis.
From Tennessee? With a name like Jeff Davis? Well, I don't think I'd mind putting a few dollars on him.
What do you call a few dollars, mister?
How about 100?
You got yourself a bet.
Good.
Hey, George, I've never seen you guess right yet, Geller. If Geller's backing Jeff Davis, I'm going along with Little Joe.
Hey, that's for me, too. I'll take some of that money, say $250.
I got 200 Clancy'll outrun Jeff Davis.
Well, you're all covered. I'll take any amount on Jeff Davis. As a matter of fact, I might even raise my bet. But then I don't figure you got much cash behind you.
Yeah, well, I got enough to take you on, mister.
How about 5,000? Well?
Hmm? Oh. Sure. Sure, you got yourself a bet. Sure.
Well, deal. Oh, what's the matter, Sonny? You want to back out of the bet?
Huh? No, just... I'm just gonna pay for my beer.
$5,000.
$5,000? Is that what you call a friendly horse race?
Well, now, look, you listen now for a minute, Pa. Now, you'd have done exactly the same thing if you'd have been in my place. This Geller was so cocksure.
I don't care how cocksure of himself anybody is. Call off that bet.
I can't do that.
Call it off right now, right now. Where are you going to get $5,000? $5,000.
Well, I have some of the money saved. I've saved a little.
Oh, really? You got some of the money? How much of the money have you got saved?
I got about $200.
$200? Isn't that wonderful, little Joe? You've got $200. That means you've only got to get about $4,800.
Well, I thought you could give me a little advance on my wages.
Look, Paul, I put a clock on that Jeff Davis, and there ain't no way he can outrun old Clancy. Clancy will outrun him every day of the week and twice on Sunday.
What's that got to do with what we're talking about?
Tell you what it's got to do with it. There ain't no way little Joe can lose, that's what. I'll tell you what, Joe, I'll put all my money in with you.
Oh, fine. How much money have you got?
I've got, $180. $180?
Well, that's quite remarkable. You've got $180. You've got $200. That makes $380. Where are you going to get the... Call this thing off.
Well, now, look, it's not just Hoss and I. I mean, there's a lot of upstanding people. There's Fairley, O'Leary.
Wait a minute. What have Fairley and O'Leary got to do with this?
Well, they're betting on Clancy. They got about $500 bet on him.
Oh, that's wonderful. Now you've got the whole town betting on this race. Oh, just great.
Howdy, Ben. Little Joe.
Right on.
Hi, Clem. Clem, you come along with us, huh? Evening, fellas.
Hey, Ben, good to see you. This here's Jack Geller.
Geller?
Mr. Cartwright, maybe now we can do some real business.
I think the business you have is with my son here.
He doesn't back out of things, does he?
No, he doesn't back out of things.
It's $5,000 here. You can count it and hold the bet.
The other party's ready to put up.
Here's my 5,000.
Well, O'Leary, I understand you and the boys are backing Clancy and Little Joe. Is that right?
Well, we just want to get in on a good thing. We figure little Joe will win by a mile.
Yeah, I think you can just do that.
If you feel that way, how about doubling the bet?
Well, $5,000 bet is fine with me, thank you.
Well, what's the matter? Don't you think the horse is any good?
All right, we'll double that bet, Sheriff.
You come with us to the bank, I'll get you the other 5,000.
Let that be a lesson to you. Let it be a lesson to me.
Patty Lou, this horse is going to look great.
Yes, I know.
What's the matter? Something wrong?
I wish I'd never gotten little Joe into this.
You heard about all the betting in town, huh?
It's all my fault.
Oh, it ain't. Little Joe and Paul are both big boys. Besides, little Joe figures he's going to beat you anyhow.
But he hasn't got a chance.
I wouldn't be too sure about that unless you got some idea of making old Jeff Davis sprout wings or something. Did your grandpa mention to you the proposition that Paul made him about you two staying here on Ponderosa with us?
Yes. Oh, Hoss, you're the nicest person in the whole world. You all are.
Well, we'd...
Hey, who are you coming with me?
Yes, Grandpa. I promised Grandpa I'd ride up to the lake with him.
Well, you go right ahead. We'll finish this little talk later.
Later, yes.
Bye for now, Ho.
So long, Colonel.
It's no wonder they call him Lightning, Governor. He was great today.
Just so he's that way tomorrow for the race.
He will be.
All right, let's get back to the barn. Give that die time to set up.
Is anybody there, Patty Lou?
No, they must be running lightning. Now, remember, Grandpa, I'm to do the talking.
Well, now, Patty Lou, I think it'd be much better if you let me do the talking. You know how you two clash.
We have to stand up to him. We have to make him listen this once.
Yes, we do indeed. And I have every intention of doing that very thing.
It means our future, our lives, and our happiness, Grandpa.
I know that. I know it.
Archer, get the dye. I want you to put the dye on that horse now, Fairchild, so it'll look more natural by tomorrow.
Just a minute, Giller. My granddaughter and I wish to consult with you.
Hey, Snowden, get a blanket on that horse and cool him off.
Sure, Governor.
Grandfather and I have something to discuss with you.
Yes.
Well, now, the only thing we've got to discuss is that dye job on Lightning. You better make sure it's a good one, because I don't want anybody to suspect that he's not Jeff Davis.
Yes, well, I'll do that, of course, but...
And you, Patty Lou, you get up on top tomorrow, and you stay there.
Grandfather and I want to call off the race.
You want a what?
You can call off the bet. You wouldn't lose anything.
Well, you've already lost something. Your silly southern cracker mind.
Now, hold on, Geller. We've got a bit of news.
The Cartwrights have asked us to stay at the Ponderosa.
That's right. They want us to settle down and maybe raise a few colts out of Jeff Davis and earn an honest living.
An honest living? You two? Why, she's nothing but a...
Mind what you say about my granddaughter.
Oh, I am sorry. I forgot I was talking to a lady. A real southern lady.
Geller, don't you see? It's another chance for us. I'm begging you to let us have it.
Well, you only get one chance in this life, and you had yours a long time ago.
One more chance, please. Before it's too late.
Listen, you and him, you had your plantation, and you had your mint tulips, and you had your big society balls. You had them all, and you threw them away. Well, now it's my turn. I'm top dog. Everything I got is bet on that race tomorrow, and if you think I'm going to throw that away for a couple of silly frauds trying to go straight...
Geller, I'm warning you.
You can't make me race.
Oh, I can't I? There've been too many races, Patty Lou. Too many towns you've been thrown out of. What do you think is going to happen when the Cartwrights discover the truth about the old colonel and dear, sweet Patty Lou?
Come, Grandfather. The die. Let's get at it.
And there's one more thing. If you two try anything tomorrow, I'll see to it that there isn't one live Cartwright left to collect a bet. Is that clear?
Grandfather? Oh, Grandpa.
I couldn't help it, honey. I couldn't help it.
They were asking for you earlier.
Will you tell him that the colonel is indisposed?
Yes, Grandfather, I will.
Oh, Patty Lou, what happened to us?
Now. Everything's going to be all right, darling.
I could have killed Geller for talking to you like that. I could have killed him.
Now, don't you fret about what Geller says. I don't even listen to him.
I was lacking the courage, or I sure would have killed him.
Our time will come, Grandpa.
Patty Lou, it's all my fault. Yes, it
Now.
is. Yes, it is. My drinking, my gambling. It lost the plantation. Killed your mother, it did.
Don't talk like that. It's as much my fault as it is yours.
No.
We're two of a kind, Grandpa.
No.
I found
Don't
Geller.
talk like that.
I wanted excitement and beautiful clothes and travel.
I know.
How could I ever be so selfish and foolish to think that I could love a man like Geller?
I know, dear, I know.
Oh, Grandpa.
Oh, no. Don't cry, honey. Don't cry.
You try and get some sleep, Grandpa. Just go to sleep.
Yeah, I'll get some sleep.
Gramps. Honey, don't look so unhappy. Grandpa, what if I lose? What if something happens to the Cartwrights because...
Now, you leave that to me. But I want you to ride Lightning today as you've never ridden before.
Grandpa, what are you going to do?
Yeah, don't worry none.
But I will if you don't tell me.
Yeah, I assure you it'll be nothing rash.
You're very dear to me, Grandpa.
Yeah, well, the feeling is mutual. Now, you've got to win this race for Patty Lou. This is your race today, Lightning. Don't forget that, huh?
About time, boys.
Take care of the bets, Clem, huh?
Been mighty heavy. Say there, I've got a lot of money bet on that horse. Mind if I come through the rope as close your luck?
I just want to point something out to you two. You see Snowden down the street there by the buggy?
he's got a rifle. And if Joe is first over that finish line, he is going to drop him right under that banner. Now, you see Hoss there? Well, Larcher, there, is going to drop him in the excitement. The crowd noise ought to cover up the gunshot. And I'm going to take care of Papa Cartwright.
You'll never get away with this.
Oh, yes, I will. We are going to grab the money and get out of here before the excitement dies down. We're going to leave you and the Colonel to face the mob, and I think just possibly they're liable to be in a hanging mood. So think it over.
Good luck, Cartwright. Thanks. You're gonna need it.
Now, that fancy breeding sure does change the appearance of a horse, don't it?
Leg me up, Hoss. Come on, Hoss, they're waiting for me.
You really think she can daylight me, Hoss?
I don't know, Joe. It's going to be a race, I can tell you that.
Well, don't look so worried, brother. I hate to beat a pretty girl like Patty Lou, but I just don't have any choice.
Neither do I, little Joe. I'm afraid I'm really going to have to daylight you.
Good luck.
Good luck to you, little Joe.
Yeah, good luck to both of you.
Are you all set?
You bet.
All set.
Start.
Yeah, sure was. Oh, did you notice how Patty Lou was acting sort of funny, not like her old self?
Patty Lou? Yeah. She was nervous with the beginning of the race and all.
I think there's more to it than that.
Huh? What do you mean?
That horse she's riding, he ain't Jeff Davis.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about a ringer. That's what I'm talking about. That horse is a lot longer between the stifle and the hock, and he's a lot faster. I can tell the way he took off.
Kid couldn't believe that they'd run a ringer in on us.
I ain't saying they did, but I ain't saying they didn't either. Dad burn it. Patty Lou would have to know about it. She wouldn't let nobody near that horse but me. I'm the only one that ever did take a real good close look at him.
Where's the Colonel? He was here just a minute ago.
I don't know. I'll take this side. You take this side. We gotta find him.
Geller, I must talk with you.
Not now, you old fool.
Right now.
What is this, Fairchild?
Yeah, we can't talk here. Around there.
Have you gone out of your mind?
Now, Keller, I want you to get out of town before this race is over and take your men with you. I can't go through with it.
You're in this up to your ears. Do you want to see your granddaughter go to jail?
You know dang well I don't. But I don't want to see the Cartwrights hurt either. So make up your mind pretty quick.
All right, Colonel. You win.
Ben, if Patty Lou loses, they'll take all the money, and they'll kill you, and Hoss, and little Joe.
Who are you talking about, Colonel? Who?
Gilla, and the others.
Colonel?
Hey, Cliff, you seen Pa or the Colonel?
No, I haven't seen him, Hoss.
Hurry up, Doc, hurry.
They're coming home. The Gray's still leading by one length.
Come on!
The black is making his move now.
Little Joe, please! You mustn't win! You don't understand! You mustn't win!
Go on, Patty Lou! See you in town!
Come on, boy! You mustn't, Joe! Joe, you mustn't! Please!
The black is passing the Gray now. He's in the lead. Here they're coming into town. The black is still leading. Here they come. Get her!
Colonel, this is a draft in a San Francisco bank in full payment for Jeff Davis and Lighton.
Are you sure now, Ben?
Well, I'll tell you the way I look at it now. Clancy needs a couple of stablemates. And you never know when one of the family may want to start a whole string of racing horses.
Well, they'll sure have a good start. Well, Ben, what is there left to say for two old friends like you and me?
Something I've wanted to say and haven't. It's been good to see you.
I abuse your hospitality, Ben. It won't do for me to ask your forgiveness.
We've known each other too long for that kind of talk. We're friends. Good friendship.
And I thank you for that, Ben. I thank you kindly.
Hoss? Hoss? Weren't you even going to come and say goodbye?
Why, sure it was, Patty Lou, but I was looking for your going away present. And I found her over there under a bench. And she said she'd sure like to go with you. Don't you want her?
Oh, do I? Little Joe?
Yeah, Patty Lou?
I would be surprised if you don't turn into a fair riding man someday.
Well, thank you. That's very kind.
Of course, you got a lot to learn. But with a little bit of perseverance, there's no telling what might happen. Take good care of him, Jeff Davis. Bye, Lightning.
Well, what's this?
I didn't steal her, Mr. Cartwright. Hoss gave her to me.
Hazel, you going a long trip? There we are.
Thank you.
Well, you know, Hazel, you look like an intelligent little one. Yes, sir. You look like you had a lot of sense, yeah. I wonder if we could teach her to talk.
Grandfather!
Get there. Whoa, goodbye.
So long.
Evening, Dad.
Oh, evening. Wind blew sand in my eyes. I'm just resting them for a spell.
Everything going all right?
Stock has finally gentled down for the night.
Listen, why don't you go get a cup of coffee? I'll take your watch for a while.
It's my time to stand watch. I'll get the job done.
Sure enough. See you back in camp. Just a wind could fire the brush and stampede the whole herd. It'd take us a week to round them up.
We were careful to see it didn't happen.
You were careful. You're supposed to be riding watch, not sitting around guzzling this stuff.
Well, a fella's got to have something to take the chill off his bones.
The orders were no drinking on this drive. You knew that. It's not the first time you've broken the rules, but it's gonna be the last. All right, we owe you 2 weeks' pay. There it is. Be off this ranch in an hour.
Just like that, huh? Pack up and get out.
That's right, just like that.
You hear the man, Temple?
I heard him. Don't like it.
No man fires me and then tells me what to do.
What do you reckon we ought to do about him, Sand?
Teach him some better manners.
That's the bottle talk, and it's not making much sense.
Not this time. This is my idea.
Hold it.
You got 10 seconds to ride out. You don't? In 11 seconds, you'll be dead.
Thanks, Dan. It's one I owe you.
You don't owe me anything, boy. You'd have done the same thing for me.
What's the matter, Joe? Can't you get him turned around?
Told him enough times. You think he'd do it by himself now?
Would you try sweet-talking him, little brother, like you do them gals on Saturday night?
Why don't you sweet-talk them? They look a lot more like the gals you dance with on Saturday night.
Dan, you want me to take him? You put the iron on him?
After 50 years, Hoss, I think I can handle it.
Well, that's the last of the strays.
You're doing a real good job, son.
That's not finished yet.
Well, I'm proud of the way you're handling things. Really am.
No, thank you. I don't want to mess up my first chance of being trail boss. Hey, there were a couple of things I wanted to talk to you about.
Yeah, oh, sure, whenever you say. Watch that. Look at the way he turns them over, huh? You know, he taught me to do that when I wasn't much older than you.
He's been at it a long time.
I'll get him for you, Dan.
I don't need your help. Get away!
That's all right.
You get your bed?
No, just edge the iron cuffed him a bit. Smarts a bit. You fool. Look what you done.
Right, John. You listen to me, old man.
Yeah, that's not gonna help anything. Look, get back to work.
Sorry, boy. Never would have happened if that young buck hadn't jumped in.
That's all right, Dan. I should have got out of the way.
Come on, get to the house, have a look at it.
All right, that's all for now. We'll pick it up after lunch. can't do the job anymore. Look, there's more to it than that, and you know it. You saw the way he acted out there. Well, Dan Tolliver used to be the best-liked wrangler on this ranch. He just doesn't get along with the men anymore. I've been watching him the last few weeks, Pa. He's tired. He's slow to react to trouble. The other day, the herd turned into him, and his horse almost went out from under him before it could get clear.
He did pretty good when those two had you on the hook.
He saved me from a bad beating, Pa, and I'm grateful. Look, I'm not saying fire him, kick him off the ranch. I'm just saying find him a job he can handle. There's lots of things he can do around here.
Dan Tolliver isn't a ranch hand. He's a wrangler. Always has been. One of the best.
Look, Pa, I gotta get this drive through. I have to get it through safe and in prime condition. Now, the only way I'm gonna do that is by getting the best out of everyone.
I know that.
All right, today, Dan got a man hurt because he would not admit that he needed help. Now, tomorrow he may get himself killed or somebody else. I just don't want that to happen, not on one of our drives.
Dan and I go back a whole lot of years together. Long before you were born. I can tell you, I always rode a whole lot easier knowing he was at my side.
Doesn't there come a time when a man has to step down? For his own good, Pa.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
You want me to tell him?
No. I'll tell him.
You sure got this buggy looking slick, Hoss. Wouldn't be to take Sarah Johnson riding, would it?
Well, it just could be, Dan. Just could be.
Luke had no call to do what he done. I would have got that steer down easy.
Yeah, I know that.
Well, you take good care of that arm now, so as it don't infect.
Oh, will do. Will do, that one. Get him.
I'll get it. Oh, Dan, come in. Come in. It's good to see you. I didn't take you away from anything important on the Saturday night, did I?
Well, I'm fixing to go into town.
Oh, well, just can wait.
Why, it'll still be there an hour from now.
Yeah, sure, come on.
Howdy, Joe.
How you doing, man?
The usual?
But not to the brim. I do, it bites back at me in the morning.
I know the feeling very well. Here's to absent friends and good memories.
What is it you want to talk to me about, Ben?
Yeah, we've been friends for a good many years, haven't we, Dan? More years than we care to count, I guess.
Yeah, we go back a long ways together, Ben. That's for sure.
Yeah, the years creep up on you, and man begins to feel the difference in his bones.
Nothing wrong, is there, Ben? Your health, I mean?
No, Dan. Fine. But I was just thinking the other day, with all the men going out on the drive, there's so many things that have to be done around here, and I don't know if I can handle them all. I was just wondering if you Well, if I couldn't talk you into staying here with me and giving me a hand with them.
You mean you want me to be a ranch hand?
Well, yeah, sure. Well, you know, there's so many things that have to be done. That barn needs patching up real bad.
And after that?
Well, you know how many things have to be done around a place like this.
I get it. After the barn, mend the fence, clean the stables. I'm a wrangler, Ben. I work stock. I always have. Now, what are you trying to say? Come out and say it straight, Ben, the way we always talk.
Sit down, Dan.
I'm all right where I am.
Down.
I'm all right here.
Well, Dan, you've been working trail in the Ponderosa for the last 15 years. I sure wish you could go on working it. But you can't.
I'm too old. Is that what you're saying to me?
What I'm trying to say is that you got to stop driving yourself in the line of work that's for young fellas. I'm trying to get you to ease off.
It's the only trait I know, and I got no intention of changing now. I'll get my gear together and be gone in the morning.
You're the dead-burnedest, stubbornest man I know. I don't know how many times it's gotten you into trouble, and what for?
For me, it's a line I've laid out for myself, and that's the way I got to travel.
Well, lay yourself out another line. I don't want you to go. I want you to stay here. Let me change your mind.
Can I get you to change yours?
Now, don't run off like this. There's no need for that. Help me find the words to make you stay. There'll be a year's bonus for you.
I got 28 days' pay coming to me. Nothing else.
Dan? I just want you to know that it was my decision to keep you off the trail.
Your decision?
Yeah, that's right.
You got no right to judge me, boy. None whatsoever. And you're wrong about me. I can still work you young bucks into the ground anytime I'm a mind to.
Look, Dan, I only...
Just have my wages drawn up in the morning. Just have them drawn up. Bottle, Sam.
Hello, Tolliver. You enjoying yourself? You know, you made me look a little foolish out there that night, throwing me in the dirt the way that you did.
He snuck up behind us. And he had a rifle then, which he ain't got now.
You want a piece of me, come ahead. But you better keep me down for good. You don't, I'll kill both of you.
Hold on, Dan. There's no need to get all riled up. Suppose you and Joe Cartwright are real tight buddies now, huh?
You suppose wrong. I ain't got any more use for Joe Cartwright than you have.
Why don't we all sit down, huh? Me and Temple here will share the cost of that bottle with you.
I drink only with my friends. I don't see any here tonight.
How come you let an old coot like that badmouth you that way? That ain't like you, Sand.
That old coot, he's got a big anger inside him. And I think it's against the Cartwrights.
Yeah, so what if it is?
I don't know. Yet.
Flint? Jim Flint?
Hello, Dan. Been a heap of years since our trails crossed.
Over 16 of them. Sit down, have a drink with me. Last time we was together, we worked trail herd on the Big Red.
With the Morgan outfit. Remember the night a rattler crawled into your bedroll?
Tell me about it.
First time I ever saw a bedroll climb a tree.
And the time that Apache raiding party jumped us, you took an arrow, as I recollect.
You recollect? Right.
Right after was the first time I ever saw a Wrangler ride side saddle.
Still troubles me some.
What are you doing in Virginia City?
Just drifting through.
You signed on with any of the trail herds yet?
No, I give that up some time ago.
Why, you was a good wrangler. Good as any man I knew. Now, what would make you take a job like this?
I gotta eat when I'm hungry. It's as easy as that.
Swamper, I pay you to clean up this place, not to sit and bother the customers.
Thanks for the drink, Dan. Maybe one day we'll get together, kick around old times.
Sure, one day, Jim. Here, you have this, Jim.
Thanks, Dan.
Yes?
It's me, Beth. Dan Tolliver.
Dan. Dan, how good to see you. Come in.
I was walking by. I saw the light. I didn't mean to bother you.
I'd have been bothered if you hadn't stopped by. Come in and sit down, Dan.
You're certain I won't be putting you out any?
Oh, no, I was just finishing up.
Kinda late to be making pies, ain't it?
Well, it's a rush order for Mrs. Grant's social tomorrow. I have to take my work however I can find it, no matter what the hour.
Things bad for you, Beth?
Well, sometimes they get a little rough, but never mind that. You sit down at the table and I'll warm the coffee.
You need money, Beth?
No. No, I'll manage. Apple pie still your favorite?
What? Oh, yeah.
I remember other Saturday nights, Dan. The socials. Do you recall?
We used to have some high old times at those dances, didn't we?
Yes, we did. And as I recall, you were seldom around to see them end.
Of course I was.
No, you weren't. You used to come in all spruced up, acting the proper gentleman. Then after a few trips around the back with the boys, you'd come in and dance with all the pretty girls.
You was one of them pretty gals, if I recollect.
The fact that I was with another fellow never seemed to trouble you any.
Sure did trouble that other fellow, though, didn't it?
Yes, and you'd both go back and settle it. I never saw such a patched-up suit as the one you used to wear.
The suit wasn't made to roll on the ground in.
We girls used to get so mad at you.
Why? I thought you liked to dance with me.
We did. You were the best dancer there, but the worst fighter. It was always the other fellow that returned to the dance.
I never seemed to learn, did I? You're a fine woman, Beth Riley. Time was mighty lucky to have found you. I only wish it was me who'd been so lucky.
Well, you had that chance, Dan. Or don't you remember?
It's late. I better be leaving.
Dan, you didn't have your pie and coffee.
Another time. Thank you for everything, Beth.
Dan, if you're ever troubled, if you think you'd like to talk to someone, my door is always open to you.
You're a good woman, Beth. With all your own problems, you're helping me. It should be the other way around. Good night, Beth.
Come in. Hi, Dan.
Where's your paw?
A bunch of steers got bogged down last night. Hoss and Pa rode out to see what they could do. I'm just making out a list of supplies for the drive.
I came for my wages.
Yeah. You got anything lined up?
I'll make do like always.
If there's anything we can do to help.
There is. Count out my wages.
Look, Pa still wants you to take that bonus.
Just the wages. Now, you understand something, boy. And I want you to remember it. I wasn't born this old. I grew into it. And so will you one day. And when that happens, you'll know how I feel now. You'll know why it don't go down easy. It's open. What do you want?
Word's out about what happened to you with the Cartwrights.
So?
Well, you're in the same boat with Temple and me now, so we thought we'd drop by and try to cheer you up.
That's right. Bought our own bottle to do it with.
You wasted your money. I drink my own whiskey. Get out of here.
You know, you told me you only drank with your friends. Well, why not give us a chance? Tolliver, do you mind telling me what you've got to show for 50 years' work? Beside a worn saddle and the clothes on your back and maybe what's in that saddlebag?
It's enough till I sign on with another trail herd.
Not a chance. When the other outfits hear that the Cartwrights let you go and know the reason, you won't be able to get a job herding day-old calves. You'll wind up cleaning stables and swamping saloons. That's not a pretty future, is it?
Get out of here.
Sure, we'll go. But if I can show you a way to get you enough money to set you up for the rest of your life, do you figure that's worth a listen? I tell you, it can work. Tonight, Little Joe and Hoss will bed down with the herd like they've been doing. Ben Cartwright will be alone at the house.
That's right. Alone with all that payroll money for the trail herd wranglers. In the safe.
Now, if me and Temple try to break in, they'll use a gun on us. But all you have to do is knock on the front door, and we'll be right behind you.
What makes you think he'd open the door for me?
30 years of friendship.
No. No, you come to the wrong man. I want no part of it. I've done some things in my time I ain't proud of. But I ain't never stole from another man. And I ain't aiming to start now with someone I call friend.
You mean you call the Cartwrights your friends? Why, it was them who threw you away. Them who said you're finished, old man. Go crawl in a hole and die by yourself.
That's right. They kicked you out.
Do you buy that brand of friendship, Tolliver?
We do get in the house. What makes you think Ben will open the safe for us?
He's got no choice. He don't open it, we take him out.
Shut up, Temple. Ben Cartwright's no fool. He's a wealthy man. He's not going to risk his life for money. He'll give it to us. There'll be no gunplay, I promise. What do you say? It's your last chance, old man.
I'm in. Reach for your gun. Slow and easy. Now, Temple will ride out on ahead. You follow in the wagon right behind him, and I follow you. Let's move.
Yes, who's it?
Dan Tolliver, Ben.
Dan, you son of a gun. It's good to see you. Come on in. Well, come on in. Don't stand outside there. We, don't usually keep the door bolted, but, with the payroll in the safe, you know, there's no point taking any chances. I've been waiting up for little Joe. He went to town this morning to get some supplies. Should have been back some time ago, but I guess he's, with the horse looking herd. Like some coffee? Dan, would you like some coffee?
No.
Well, then I hope you coming back here means that you've thought things over and you're going to be working with us again.
No.
What is it then?
If you want Joe back, you open up that safe and give me the money that's inside.
What's the matter with you, Dan?
We got Joe, Ben. Me and my partners. He ain't been hurt none. And he'll be turned loose as soon as I get back there with the money.
Some kind of joke.
It's no joke, Ben. We got him.
When you reckon he's gonna get back?
Well, things go the way they should by sunrise.
What do you mean things go the way they should? Why shouldn't they?
Now, settle down, Temple. It's going to be a long night. The way I figure it. The old man will be back in the morning with the money.
That old man get back with the money. What do you figure you're gonna do with your share?
Spend it.
Me too. I'm going to San Francisco, and I'm gonna get me a room in one of them fancy hotels. Then I'm gonna go down and buy me some of them duded up city clothes. And I'm gonna kiss me every pretty girl I can find.
Why don't you give him the number of your hotel room while you're at it?
What difference does it make if he knows where I'm at? Ain't gonna do him no good nohow.
What's the matter?
Can I come in? I want to talk to you.
Of course.
I'm sorry to bother you this late, but I don't have much time.
Well, are you in trouble? Is there anything I can do?
No, I'm fine. I'm leaving town. Chances are I won't see you again.
What do you intend to do? Where are you going?
Well, I ain't rightly thought about that yet. There's something I wanted to do before I left. I want you to have this.
Where did you get all that money?
Well, no matter about that. That's why I came here to give it to you. Here, take it.
Oh, I can't accept that.
Why?
Well, it doesn't belong to me. Does it belong to you?
Yes. It does belong to me. Maybe not the way you think, but there's 50 years of my life tied up in this money. I've earned it. Every dollar of it. And I want you to share it with me.
But why?
Because you won't have to stay up half the night working for other people. You won't have to depend on anyone for food on your table or a roof over your head.
What have you done?
What I've done was as much for you as for me.
No, not for me. If I took this money, would it ease your conscience? Oh, Dan, don't you see you've done a wrong thing? This could lead to big trouble. I can't take this money. I earn enough to live on. I take pride in my work, the way you used to.
Beth, they kicked me out. They called me an old man. They said I couldn't do my work.
Well, then I'd do something that I could do. And no matter what, there'd be no shame. As long as it was honest work, I'd take pride in it.
Honest work? Like Jim Flint, cleaning spittoons.
Dan, my thoughts and my prayers are with you.
Sam, wake up. It's morning. That old man should have been here by now. What do you think happened to him?
I'll ask him when he gets here. Check him.
All right, lean forward so I can see your hands. Come on. It's him, Sand. He's here.
Don't forget what we've got to do.
Not a chance. Did you get it? Did Cartwright give you the money? Look at it, Sand. Will you look at it? And it's ours. It's all ours.
You make sure nobody followed you here?
No one followed me.
It was easy, wasn't it?
For you, it was easy.
We owe you a lot, Tolliver. Might not have worked out if you hadn't come in with us.
What you fixing to do?
Cut him loose. Turn him out of here.
I don't think so.
Wait a minute. That was our understanding. By the time he gets home, tells them about us, we'll be long gone. No way for him to catch us.
Well, maybe not this week. But what about next week, or next month, or next year? No. I'm not going to spend the rest of my life looking over my shoulder.
I won't sit still for a killing.
I didn't think you would. And I'm sorry. It would have changed things if you had.
I'll take one of you with me.
No, you won't.
Show him trouble!
I didn't want you hurt. Where did it take you?
Got me in the side. I'll be all right. What are you waiting for? You got all the money now. That's what you wanted, isn't it?
No. It's all you left me. What you forced on me.
Oh, come on, Dan. Nobody forced you in anything. You did that all by yourself. What do you think? You're the only person who ever got old? Happens to lots of people. The only difference is they adjust to it. They find work they can handle. Good, honest work, and they take pride in it. No, not you. Now, you're too proud to work for my father, but you're not too proud to steal from him. And I feel sorry for you. You had an awful lot to offer. 50 years of experience on a trail, something you could have passed on. But you just quit. Well, you go on, take the money. Try and buy yourself a friend like my father.
Here. Let me help you. Let's go home, son. What's the matter with you, boy? Can't you see that horse standing there big as life?
Well, everything's normal again.
It's good to have him back.
Yeah. Easy, boy. Sneak it out. Easy. I said easy, didn't I? I'm going to make a wrangler out of you, boy, in spite of yourself.
Go get him, Dan.